This deck just predicted what the House of Representatives have just passed surrounding Trump's control and reining his control back in when it comes to the Iran war. So the cards that came out from this deck when it was to do with Trump, and I said Congress will make a decision. I could see them all together making a difficult decision, and I could see the card that came out was called difficult decision, and it has a pen, and I said I can see them signing something. They're signing something to do with pulling back on Trump's control. I thought it might have been economic in some way, the way he spends money, but it's to do with the war, and of course that is all tied in and connected because war is not cheap. So here's what happened. The US House of Representatives passed a Wars Powers resolution to curb Trump's authority to continue the war in Iran. This happened on June 3rd, 4th, 26, with a vote of 215 to 208. 4 Republicans crossed the aisle to support it. I'm just reading headlines here. So I said Congress, but House of Representatives did that. So the measure directs Trump to end US military hostilities against Iran unless the Congress issues a formal declaration of war or Congress passes a specific authorization for use of military force. Interesting. And that's Congress, that Congress has to take control here. And I did see that it was Congress. Congress was making a decision on how to pull back Trump or rein him in. And they had a pen and they were signing. So they did. They've passed it, meaning they've signed. So I think we should delve a little bit deeper. And what does this mean for the war in Iran? Will the US pull out? So let's see what the cards want to reveal next. What happens next? Okay, let's see what the cards want to reveal, what happens next. Now, what order did I ask the questions in? Because the first card that came out was yes, and the second card that came out was no. So I think I said, what does this mean? Will US pull out of Iran? I'll have to go back and see what order it was that in the intro did I pose those questions, because the first answer is yes, second answer is no, if we're looking for a yes or no answer. So let's get in and see what the cards want to say. Now, facade of goodwill, I feel like this is pretending on the surface that you are acting in the interest of national security, national defense, but there's a further motive in the background. I also see this as, if we're looking at Trump, I see this as Trump acting on the surface of going along with it, but on the background there's something else going on in the background. So this is showing me somebody, Congress or Trump, not sure which one, showing a face on one side, a reason on one side, but in the background there's something else, a hidden. So whether it's Trump goes along with it on the surface, but in the background he's trying to find a way around it, especially since we had the dodging the question card here. This straight away I felt Trump, I felt he's finding a way to work around it in the background. So in the front he might have a face of going along with it until the regulations, see that says regulations, it's not health regulations, it's a regulation. So he's has a face of going along with the regulations. No. he will still find a way. He's looking for a way in the background to work around it. Military could be involved here in some way. Now, I know that it says here the Congress has to issue formal declaration of war, or Congress has to pass a specific authorization of use of military force. Interesting that it's sitting next to the national defense card. This is the external influence card. This is a card of US in other countries. This is US in Iran, and national defense. So is there a way that he can find a way that forces hand? Now I saw forced hand up here. Forced hand, for whatever reason, forces Congress to issue a formal declaration of war, or in some way tries to force Congress to pass a specific authorization of use of military force. Now, on the surface, there could be, so for instance, an example of that would be something that happens, may not be real, to push Congress to issue the declaration or to authorize military use, because these cards are saying national defense is on the table. US is still in Iran with this card here. So there's a yes answer here and there's a no answer here. Still unresolved differences when it comes to the agreement between Iran and US. I'm not even going with it. I'm not even looking at Israel here, but there's still unresolved, and a lot of the issues do stem from the not agreeing between Israel and Iran. But I feel there's still unresolved differences here between US and Iran. That's not over. Those negotiations have not been signed upon. They've not been agreed upon. So there's still issues there. So can Trump walk away without having twisted the arm of Iran, had gotten his way in Iran? This is the energy that I'm bringing up. He the type of person that can back down without winning a war. Because I see unresolved differences. I see that eats inside about not getting the resolution that he was hoping for. So on the surface, he may say that this is the solution that we wanted. Yes, we achieved that. But in the background, there's still something else going on that's boiling inside. But this I'm concerned about, the forced hand, especially on the diagonal to the military, national defense. This is forcing Congress in a way, finding a reason through mounting tension from pressures of either Iran or Israel. The cards they're speaking very well. They're telling a very clear story here. They're saying that there'll be some kind of mounting tension because of unresolvable differences that may force the hand of Congress. So somebody gets their way. Just pull back for a minute and see if I'm missing something here. The question means finding a way around it, working around the situation, around the question. Pointing the fingers too. In this card here, pointing the fingers to something to do with national defense. That's the military. So something to do with to cause the national defense in Iran. Now, I don't think this means that they're pulling out of Iran, even though what has just been passed through from the House of Representatives is encouraging that to happen. I think there's a way of trying to find and having to force Congress's hand because of mounting tension, the unresolvable differences. Very concerning what that kind of catalyst event would be that would cause Congress to have to force their hand to issue a formal declaration of war or to pass the authorization for military use. The cards are on the table. That's why it's so concerning. We've got national defense and we've got signing. But I find it difficult. The energy here is, I don't think that means it's the end of the war, as much as that's the idea for the Congress is to try and to end that and pull back from the wall. But I think they're still trying to find a way to keep national defense in other countries. Because this is the US, this has got the US flag, the US in other countries, not on home soil. But there's a yes and a no answer there, so I'll have to go back and have a look. Let me know what you think. We'll have to see what happens next.